welcome, man, to another Mental Game Podcast, man. We on episode 123. 123. And man, I'm happy to be here. It's Sunday morning. I didn't record the podcast yesterday. Me and the fellas, we got together. If you don't know, man, you see these two trophies right here. I play fantasy football, and with my boys, we got together yesterday. We did a fantasy football draft. We had us a little draft party. Wasn't many of us there, you know what I'm saying, but we like to get together and kind of like mingle and fellowship. This was actually like one of the first events get-togethers we've had since the Super Bowl party. And the Super Bowl party was the last time we was able to see our homeboy J Dub, man. So it was it was special. We were late. My bad, Carter. We were late. We showed up late, but we still did it. We still was there, drafted. We watched a couple games, fellowship, laugh like we always did. But rest in peace. Continue. Shout out, rest in peace, rest in power to J Dub, man. Getting into this episode today. Keep grinding. That's a message I've had this week that was given to me this week that I want to talk about on the podcast today. Like whatever you're working on right now, whatever you got in place, whatever plan you got in place, keep going. Because the craziest thing about success is people treat you completely different once they can see it. And I know, generally we're not trying to be successful for other people. We're trying to be successful for ourselves where we should be successful for ourselves. That should be what it's all about for be successful ourselves, our children, our lineage, what we leave behind. That's what we should be being successful for. But when you building something, man, nobody knows the hell that you're going through. You know what I'm saying? To be able to cultivate and build and structure the empire that you're bringing to life. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you tell somebody your plans and they hit you with oh, that's cool. And, then that's it. You know what I'm saying? They don't really care about what you're trying to do. They just, they just think that'll be cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you look at people like, man, I done sat here and ran down my whole vision to you and all you can tell me is that's cool. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people don't see your vision because that vision wasn't given to them. It was given to you. You know what I'm saying? That's for you to figure out. That's your mission. So when people don't understand your mission and your vision, you don't blame them. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't for them. That vision wasn't given to them. That vision wasn't downloaded into their brain to bring into fruition. You know what I'm saying? That was strictly given to you. You know what I'm saying? But, let it work, man. Let the business take off. Like, grow it, cultivate it, breathe life into it. Let it work, man. Let the business take off. Let the podcast, if you're doing a podcast, you see me here, let the podcast take off. Let it get big. You know what I'm saying? When you finally get it, you know what I'm saying? And you're fortunate enough to make money doing it, you know what I'm saying? Let you become wealthy, let your name get out there, start ringing in people's ears, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden everybody knows you. You know what I'm saying? But like, especially that person that was like, that's cool. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? I like it's just crazy because I don't know, it's just crazy, man. Like just how people are nowadays. But that's my message for people this week. So with that being said, man, I want to welcome y'all to another episode of the Mental Game Podcast. If this is your first time listening, I appreciate you being here. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to you. If you've been grinding with me all this time, man, welcome back, man. You know how I do it here. You know what I'm saying? We talk about, faith. We talk about mental health. We talk about family. We talk about growth, you know what I'm saying? And everything that happens when you're trying to figure shit out, quick shout out to the Mental Game brand. Everybody knows, life's a mental game. You need the right mentality to survive. Mental Game started out as a clothing brand. I'm seeing wearing one of my designs now. Got the this is like the kind of replicated it after like one of my favorite wrestlers early on growing up. But I call this like the 90s logo, the 90s Mental Game logo, the vector. You know what I'm saying? I got many other designs and many other designs that I'm working on. The summer's coming to an end, man. I still got the short sets. The short sets is gonna continue, because they got them weird people that in the wintertime they wearing shorts and stuff like that. But now we getting in. The summer's ending. Well, I do live in Texas, so summer probably not gonna end for another couple months from now. But that's that's another story. But the hoodies are coming. Of course, I've always got the t-shirts. Thinking about getting back into the joggers, the sets, man, the track suits. I'm thinking about getting back into that, man. So, if you're interested, man, send me a DM, drop me a comment. I get back with you. Let me know you're interested, and we can talk shop, man. I'll let you know what's up. But man, mental game book spotlight, man. Dangerous Attraction. I got my book here, Dangerous Attraction. It's about my boy Miles. It's a story about relationships, temptation, love, and consequences. There's a lot of consequences going on in this book, man. This week I've been getting reached out to by different publishing companies, trying to get me to come on and publish my book with them. Really looking for the perfect fit, and then in the climate we in nowadays, man, I'm trying to avoid scammers. I don't want nobody trying to scam me out of some money, and then nothing happens with my book. They probably stole my whole idea. But yeah, man, this book is about relationship. Your loyalty gets tested and consequences follow. You know what I'm saying? And also tells about like when your decision starts affecting more than the person making them. You know what I'm saying? Miles made a decision out of good conscience that kind of put his family in like a little bit of a downward spiral. So if you like drama, suspense, relationship stories, and some twist along the way, man, I think Dangerous Attraction is the book for you. Now, when I was writing the book, I didn't know they had so many other books named Dangerous Attraction. So when you go on Amazon, the book is available on Amazon, just like my other book right here, The Daily Check-In for Men. Go on Amazon, search Dangerous Attraction by Johnny Williams Jr. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, the book will pop right up, man. It'll bring you right to it. You know what I'm saying? So moving on, man, we got our birthday shout outs. We are moving out of the month of August, man. My mom's birthday is next week, man. So big shout out to my mom, man. I'm gonna do a podcast later on that Saturday. Actually, that Saturday is my mom's birthday. Her birthday's the 29th, aka the anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, man, the storm that got me here in Texas. So, saying shout out to my mom. Shout out to the lives lost in Hurricane Katrina, man. I know we 21 years later. Respect to the fallen and the families of the fallen. But I ain't gonna leave on a negative, but like shout out to my mom, man. Her birthday is August 29th. If you see her on my page or anything like that, cussing me out or anything like that, I promise I didn't do it. But shout out to everybody that's celebrating their birthdays in the month of August as we transition into September. You know what I'm saying? Another year to live, another year to grow. I'm wishing y'all much prosperity, happiness, positivity, and another year to get your mental game right. So, happy birthday to y'all. Anniversaries, man. Anybody celebrating an anniversary in the month of August, man? Shout out to you, man. Anniversaries, y'all still choosing each other's, you know what I'm saying? Because, relationships aren't always peachy creamy. You know what I'm saying? Relationships ain't always sugar. Sometimes it's a little more spice than sugar. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't mean that in a good way, but so shout out to y'all, man. To the people that's quietly undergoing something they don't understand or that nobody else understands. The people that survive, the things that nobody talks about that or nobody has talked with them about, man. Shout out to you still being here. Shout out to the people still surviving substance abuse. You know what I'm saying? Holding on to their sobriety. Shout out to y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that made it through this week and through something that nobody clapped for, man. Shout out to you, man. The shout out is for you, man. Shout out to the survivors. Faith, thank you, man. I like to ground each and every one of my episodes with a verse. My favorite verse for this podcast is be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. You know what I'm saying? I keep this scripture connected to this podcast because, sometimes I need the reminder too to just keep going, keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? Even when you're scared, I know finances is the main thing that's scaring everybody. I know, certain events that's happening in the world, seen and unseen, is scaring everybody. You know what I'm saying? Even when, your vision is blurry, and I mean that literally and figuratively, like, you don't know what you want to do in life. You don't know how you want to push forward. Even when your progress looks slow, looks like you're kind of walking through mud, sludge, whatever, you know what I'm saying, to get to your vision, your goal, God is still there. And I just want to remind y'all of that. So that's why I love this verse, because it can relate to so many things, man. It's multifunctional verse right there. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I left off, man, my aunt had gave me a great quote to connect to my podcast, just for all of my survivors out there. You know what I'm saying? Forgive yourself for not knowing earlier what only time could teach you. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, we're mad at the old version of ourselves for not having the wisdom that only time could teach you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to go through things to really learn these lessons. You know what I'm saying? Some people and some of us can't just be told to do something right and we just do it right. Some of us got to fall down and bump our head. And that's just the way it is sometimes. I mean, some of us are physical learners. Some of us have to actually go through something, have to go through a storm, have to go through some type of heartache for that thing to teach us something. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, shout out to y'all, man. So forgive yourself because now you know better. So now you're gonna do better, right? Right? Can we all agree on that? Now we know better, we're gonna do better. All right, cool. So moving on into mental preparedness, man. This week I want you to prepare. Now, the title of this episode is Keep Grinding. This week, man, I want you to prepare for opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I know I've been talking all these other weeks about preparing for disaster situations, because, especially if you live in the Gulf states, the South where you're affected by tornadoes, hurricanes, stuff like that, snowstorms occasionally. Now we got in Texas, we got snowstorms that not really snowstorms, but freezes that, you're not prepared for. So, everybody prepares for disaster. But are you prepared if something actually goes the right way? You know what I'm saying? Are you prepared for the opportunity that might come your way? You know what I'm saying? If your business gets 100 orders tomorrow, will you be prepared for it? You know what I'm saying? Can you fulfill them? Can you do them? Can you get them out to the people? You know what I'm saying? If somebody wants to invest in your business, do you have the numbers for them? You know what I'm saying? Do you have your spreadsheet ready? You know what I'm saying? If somebody asks what your business does, can you explain it to them? You know what I'm saying? These are all good things to have, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying, to stay ready, keep from getting ready, you know what I'm saying? Be ready for the opportunities that come your way. You feel me? So that's my mental preparedness tip for the week. So moving on, I guess we could just, and like I always say, man, prepared people don't panic, they plan. Prepared people don't panic, they plan. I'm going to say that one more time. Prepared people don't panic, they plan. So, all right, man, we're going to move into the main topic. So, one of the hardest parts about building something is like nobody cares in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Probably your family, but that's a given. If you got good family members, because you know what I'm saying. If you got good family members that really fuck with you and support you. So I'm sorry I cursed. My auntie gonna get on me. She just cringed right now. Not a lot of people are lucky to have family that fool with them in the beginning stages of their business. Sometimes your family could turn on you, because they feel like you're stealing their ideas or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that happens. But yeah, one of the hardest things about building a business is in the beginning nobody really cares because, that's just me being real. You know what I'm saying? You can have the greatest idea in the world and you excited about it. Remember, like I said, because that vision has been given to you. You know what I'm saying? And you're explaining it to somebody like, hey man, this is gonna do wonders. This is gonna do numbers. This is gonna be big. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And they're like, all right, get out my face. That sounds good. Like basically, you know what I'm saying? I know, building on my journey, trying to not trying, because trying is a failing word, but in my line, just explaining to people what mental game is and what I want to do, what I want to fulfill, my goals that I have for my business. Really, just raising the standard of mental health in my community. It's just, it's been difficult to do because nobody really cares about your mental health. Everybody in this world now is individualized. Everybody's an individual. Everybody wants to worry about themselves. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares for each other's mental health. And a lot of times, especially with males, we've always been told, just suck it up and get over it. You know what I'm saying? You're all right. And it's such a dog eat dog world out here, man. You got to keep going or you're going to get ran over. You feel me? So a lot of people don't check their mental health, man. You know what I'm saying? So but me going through this journey, I tell people what I want to do and they're like, oh, okay, that's cool. Nobody really understands it because like I said, that vision was given to you. You know what I'm saying? But what if one day that idea, that idea starts working? You know what I'm saying? What if one day I'm the face of mental health in my community? You know what I'm saying? What if one day that happens? What if one day people really start watching and paying attention? You know what I'm saying? What if one day the same thing people like ignore What if that one day just comes into fruition and it's on the main scene now? You know what I'm saying? And I've seen my numbers grow. It ain't been like a quick, instant growth. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful for that because like last week, like I said, when it comes to reaching success, man, I'll take the stairs. So I'll take the slow growth. I'll take the small little intimate comments that people send me and just let me be aware that, hey, I'm watching. I support what you're doing. Hey man, that's well said and stuff like that. So I appreciate y'all, man, on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. That leave me those little words of wisdom, those little nuggets of wisdom. I appreciate y'all because not gonna lie, it keeps me going. You know what I'm saying? It encourages me to keep going. My aunt always contacts me and engages me like every week after she watches the podcast and gives me like her critiques and stuff like that, and always offers me words of encouragement. My mom, man, she's been my encourager since day one, man. Everything that I do, even if as bonehead as it could be, my mama offer her critiques and her structure, but she'll still support me. Man, my brothers, man, all the words of encouragement that they offer me, all of be it monetary. Like I said, I started Mental Game because of my brothers. My brothers went in with me to buy the track suits, pay for the photo shoot, and things like that. Like shout out to Damon Darling. But they believed in because I didn't just walk up to them and be like, hey man, I want to do clothes and that's it. It's a meaning behind Mental Game. What I'm saying? It's a meaning behind it. I really want people to, when they wear Mental Game, I really want them to wear what it stands for versus, it looks cool. Mental Game stands for not just mental health, but, just wearing a message that's positive. What I'm saying? That promotes a positive mentality to have, positive outlook, what I'm saying? A positive way of thinking. That's what Mental Game's all about. But I lost my train. I done got off topic, man. I'm off my soapbox now. You know what I'm saying? But most importantly, man, like when you in this grind, don't grind because you want revenge. Don't grind because you wanna show people. You know what I'm saying? You want them to, what's the word? You want them to, for lack of a better word, you want them to pay for not believing in you. Don't grind for revenge, man. Don't turn your journey into, I'm gonna get rich and I'm gonna show everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because in a way, if you think about it, if you do that, they controlling you. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I made you do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't give that negative no kind of credit. Don't give them no kind of credit to put a stake on your life and be able to come back like, I'm, kind of Joe Jackson you know what I'm saying, for lack of a better word. You know what I'm saying? If your entire motivation, bleh, like I'm jumbling my words up. If your entire motivation is proving somebody wrong, you know what I'm saying, then that person still got power over you. You know what I'm saying? Because I want y'all to build because you believe in what you're building. You know what I'm saying? Build for, like I said in the beginning, build for your family. Build because God gave you something, because you're supposed to do it. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to bring it into the world. You know what I'm saying? Build because you want that financial freedom, or you want the freedom, period, to, be able to create something. Build because, you want to help. Genuinely, you want to help somebody. Build something because you're passionate about it. You know what I'm saying? But don't spend your whole life trying to make somebody regret doubting you. You know what I'm saying? But I come from I'm a former football player. I come from a world of like, yeah, I'm gonna prove them all wrong. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And at the end of the day, I'm in here in my man cave talking to you. So, football didn't work for me. And, I was undersized football player, so I always had something to prove. So I always felt like I had something to prove. So, I believe just success isn't revenge, man. If you still building your life around proving somebody wrong, then saying they still controlling that part of your life. And you don't want nobody to have that type of control over you or that type of role in your success, because is it really yours at the end of the day when you think of it like that, or is it theirs? So think about that. Everybody celebrates when you made it. You know what I'm saying? When you do make it. To my future entrepreneurs, world changers, game changers, my future game changers. I like that. My future game changers out there. Like, everybody celebrates when you make it. You know what I'm saying? But nobody talks about the years before. You know what I'm saying? the years that we're learning, failing, constantly changing directions, flip flopping, losing money, starting over, losing money again. Then you start questioning yourself, man, is it really for me? Is this really gonna work? You constantly praying and asking God for a change to make this thing happen for you. You know what I'm saying? Some of us are still working while we waiting. You're working and working and working, and you feel like you're working for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just to pay bills and, you know what I'm saying, doing stuff when you feel like nobody is watching, you know? Yeah, I get up. I remember I used to think like that until I actually started seeing comments show up on my YouTube videos. I used to think, man, I'm just on here talking to myself. You know what I'm saying? Until, people used to call me and comment, send me DMs. Hey, man, on your podcast, this, that, and other. I agree with this. I disagree with this. You know what I'm saying? Then comments like that started coming in, man. And I appreciate it. Negative or positive. I appreciate it. I didn't have one person come on my YouTube page and thought I was imitating somebody. I'm looking around like, me? Like, yeah, man. So I take all of that. All criticism is good criticism to me. So, I use it to improve off of. Because at the end of the day, you want to be, it's a craft that it's your craft and you want to be good at it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna call them the quiet years. Those quiet years before you make it. Those quiet years matter, man, because that's where you learn. You know what I'm saying? And you learn whether you actually want to do the thing that you're trying to do because you kind of survive all the tests. You know what I'm saying, that you got to go through to actually get to where you want to be. You feel me? It's easy. It's easy to work and it's easy to succeed. Like, no, I don't want to say succeed. It's easy to I'll just go ahead and say succeed for lack of a better word. It's easy to succeed when everybody's cheering for you. You know what I'm saying? But can you do this when nobody really gives a damn? You know what I'm saying? Can I get on here week after week, knowing nobody's listening to me? Can you, continue to set up your pop-up shop when nobody visits your table? They just come and look and say, oh, that's nice. And they go to the next table and, probably do the same thing to them, or they might buy something from them, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Can you do that? If you can, kudos to you, man. It's really for you. You know what I'm saying? Keep your promises to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you promised to yourself in the beginning, man, keep to it. If you promise yourself, I'm gonna help people with this. I'm really gonna help people. Me speaking to people, I really want to help people. You know what I'm saying? Keep your promises to yourself. You want to take care of your family. You want to retire your mom, your dad. You know what I'm saying? Your grandma, if she's still around. You want to retire your family, give them a better quality of life, man. Keep that promise to yourself. You know, Cause not gonna lie to you, man, in the process of everything that's gonna go on, you will be tested. You will look at people different, and that's just the way it goes, man. But keep your promise to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't, eventually, like I said, man, you start questioning yourself, you stop trusting yourself. Like, man, am I really gonna be successful doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I read a quote the other day that said, confidence isn't just believing you can do something. Sometimes confidence comes from having proof that when you tell yourself you're doing something, you're hold on, when you tell yourself you're going to do something, you actually do it. You know what I'm saying? That's confidence. I don't know if you let me read that again. Okay, I want everybody to understand this. It says confidence isn't just believing you can do something. Sometimes confidence comes from having proof that when you tell yourself you're going to do something, you actually do it. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I keep saying it. I'm trying to stop. Look, getting better and better and better. I'm trying to stop from saying, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to stop myself from saying that. But cause I notice in my little clips, I'm saying that a lot. But like, I gotta keep pushing, going through my little notes, man. Don't forget who you are. Don't forget that. Don't forget, like, if you get everything that you've ever wanted out of this life, whether that be generational wealth, if you want fame, if you just want to be functional in this world, you want to be left alone. Some people want a quiet life. Some people want a wealthy, quiet life. If that's what you want, man, you know what I'm saying? Let it be that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you got to tell yourself, like I tell myself, if God blessed me financially behind anything that I could ask for, anything that I could imagine, I still want to be me. I still want to be Jay. You know what I'm saying? I still want to be the person that my family loves and appreciates and cares for. I still want to be that person. I want to be that person that puts my family on. I want that quiet, wealthy life. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to come on here on the podcast, be able to talk to y'all and encourage y'all from a standpoint of y'all seeing me at my humble beginnings. I want to be able to encourage people and let them know that, like, hey, man, if you grind, keep grinding and stick to what you believe in, man, you can achieve anything and can't nobody get in your way. That's what I want. That's what I want people to see while I'm on this podcast and journey. Y'all see people come on here. Y'all see me do this things to switch up to do things by myself, man. Because I really want to get my message across. And I'm not saying I'm not bringing people back on the mental podcast. I'm not saying that, but it's just like at this point in my podcasting journey, I wanted to, there's a certain message I want to get through. You know what I mean? My little brother in there screaming. He must be getting his butt whooped on the game. Anyway, don't forget who you are. Don't forget the person that you were when you started all this. Don't forget your why. Why did I start this? Why did I want to do this? You know what I'm saying? Don't forget. No, I'm on the podcast right now, girl. No. Trey. I'm live on the podcast. Y'all excuse me. My child done came in here and interrupted me. So anyway, things I want y'all to take away from the podcast today. Like, keep working when nobody's watching. Remember who's supporting you now. You know what I'm saying? Not really so much so you can keep score, like, I'm going to do for them because they did for me. I'm going to do, just don't be blind when, that way you're not blind when success brings new faces. That way you can know who was around from the very beginning. You know what I mean? That's what I want you to get when I tell you, remember who's supporting you now. Not telling you to, like, because, everybody, we all got our groups, everybody that's supporting us and that's grinding for us and doing for us. Just remember that, man, when you really, really, really get what you really wanted. You know what I'm saying? That way when them hey pookies come around or hey big heads come around, you know what's up. You know what I mean? Another one, don't make revenge your motivation. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to continue to build towards something, not against somebody. You know what I'm saying? You want your journey to be positive. Keep the promises you made to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So a lot, like I always say, big plans start in small rooms. Keep your promises to yourself. Check what success is doing to your character. And I know that goes hand in hand with don't make revenge your motivation, but no, don't let this journey to success change you in a negative way. Let it change you positively to where you're growing to be a better person at the end of all this, at the end of your journey. No matter what it is, man, let it change you for the better. So I got a question for y'all. I want leave the answer in the comments, man, for my entrepreneurs out there, my game changers, you know what I'm saying, so to speak. Let me know this, man. Are you chasing your dream because you love it or because you want to prove somebody wrong? Let me know in the comments, man. I want y'all to really stew on that, man. Really think about it, all right? Are you chasing your dream because you love it or because you want to prove somebody wrong? Let us know, man. And I'm gonna let y'all go, man. I done took not enough of y'all time. So keep grinding, not because one day everybody might know your name and who you are, and you might have this big old banner, you have your storefront or whatever your dream or your vision is. You know what I'm saying? Keep grinding. Not because the people that ignored you might actually call one day, because they might never call. You know what I'm saying? You might just matter that little to them. So don't grind just because of them. But keep grinding because somebody in your family may benefit for something you're building right now. And that's generational wealth. You never know, down the line, my great, great, great grandchildren who probably won't know much of me, you know what I'm saying, will benefit. And I think if I was able to see it, whether I'm able to see it or not, I feel real great about that, man. Just knowing that my hard work paid off to get, for them to have a better quality of life in the future. Do I believe it's possible? I don't know. I got to keep grinding, man, to find out. You feel me? But so if this episode spoke to you, you know what I'm saying, drop me some comments, man. Leave me some encouragement. Let me know how you feel. Positive or negative, man. Just give me some feedback, man, for the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? YouTube hates me. So, drop something in the comments, man. What are you grinding towards right now? You know what I'm saying? For the people that can't resonate with my other question, what are you grinding towards right now? Business, family, financial freedom, education, mental health. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, man, put it out there. Let me know, and then get back to work. But don't just grind just so everybody knows your name when you make it. Grind because when you make it, you still know who you are at the end. If that resonate with you, leave me a comment. Just leave me a bunch of comments today. We got some stuff to do. We got a pop-up shop today. I know by the time y'all watch this, we're gonna be done with the pop-up shop. My wife has a new business venture she's on right now. Serenity Sweets. She's doing Kool-Aid, pickles, and pineapples. It's made with natural organic sugar, pineapples, fresh squeeze lemonades. She's got like a regular lemonade, a pineapple lemonade, a strawberry lemonade. We got this patented, well, it's not patented, but she's got this other juice concoction, you know what I'm saying? It's called Jungle Juice. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can find her page on Instagram, Serenity Sweets. I'll put it somewhere on here. Send her a DM, place an order, get y'all some good stuff, man. If that's everything, y'all remember, man, I got my books out. You know what I'm saying? You need some merch. Y'all know how to hit me up. Let me know. Tell me something. You know what I'm saying? DM me for the details. Without that being said, y'all keep grinding, keep building, keep your faith. And most importantly, you know what I'm saying? Y'all remember, be focused, not foolish, man. We out, man. Holla at y'all. Love y'all. Peace.